Hello, everybody out there, and welcome back to another episode of Anime Weekly. This is episode 19. Next week, the
The
big,
big 2-0.
the big 2-0. And guys, actually, before we get into anything, as always, we're going to get into some news. I only have one thing I want to make mention of. I don't have it physically with me this week. I'll have it for episode 20, though. This month, the Assassination Classroom Season 1, Part 1, DVD set, DVD Blu-ray set, and collector's edition version of Assassination Classroom Season 1 Part 1 was released. I believe it was released last week, if I'm not mistaken. I should be getting mine tomorrow, which I'll have for next week's episode. So I just want to make mention of that. For those of you that are waiting for the dub on Blu-ray DVD, it's out now. We talked about Sailor Moon coming out in August. We will cover that when it comes out as well. And I think that's all the
And I'm sure you'll do like a Blu-ray review on your channel for it.
What? No, no, no. I'll do it on Frontline. The thing is, I have to watch. I remember we're watching season 2, and I started with part 1 of season 2, so I have to
Yep.
watch part 1 and 2 of season 1 to fully be caught up. But I've been reading the manga, so I'm sure that whether I
Yeah, you read the entire manga, so you should be fine.
well, no, I read the first volume. I have to-
Yeah, you read the first volume and the ending.
That's right. I know how it all ends, and Jeremy doesn't, and we're not spoiling it for him. We are not bleeding cool manga version.
We're
So-
gonna keep repeating that until we actually get to the end of this anime, guys. Because I swear to God, if I'm looking in these comments and I see a spoiler, I'm using the band hammer. Just saying.
Well, I think we're getting pretty close. I'd like to think that we are. We're at episode what right now? What
I
episode?
was gonna say, what number are we on? It should end around 24 if they're doing it in the
Okay,
same paces.
so we're at episode 19, and you stopped reading time. So
Yep.
you stopped reading the manga. So we should be nearing the end. I would say 5 or 6 more episodes, and we should be fully rounded out.
Yeah, because season 1 ended, I think, at 24, so I feel like season 2 will also end at 24.
Right. So we only have a couple more weeks to go, and I'm very sad to see it go, but we have a lot of anime, and Jeremy got me into Big Order. Yes, that's right. I watched all 6 episodes. I liked it. I give up. I give up. You guys you kill me with this anime because you show me it, and then I'm like, I'm not going to like it. And I hit play, and it's like, I love it, and then I got to watch it, and then I watch it to the end.
You were like, I don't know if I'm going to catch up. And you're just like, I caught up.
I caught up. Last night I spent from 3 in the morning until 6 in the morning watching everything that I had left. I normally watch a little bit at night yesterday, and then right before the show I'll finish off the anime. I was just so into it. I was going one. I'm like one more, one more, one more.
See, and that is the anime fan struggle. Just one more It's like drugs. It's like, just one more episode. One episode can't hurt. Just one more. It's only 30 minutes.
Next thing I knew, I was watching One Piece from this week as well. So
You know, that's actually how I got into One Piece in the first place.
One-
Like I said, my friend collects the DVDs, and he had a bunch of the DVDs, and he's like, you know what? You keep telling me you won't get into One Piece. I have all these DVDs here. I'm not watching them. I'm all caught up. Go ahead. He's like, watch one DVD and then tell me you won't continue. And I'm like, all right. He gave me the whole set that he had at the time, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch one. Okay, this is good.
2.
One more. One more. And then like 2 days later, here's your setback. You finished it already? Yeah.
One more.
He's like, the new one comes out next week. You want to watch it? Yeah, let's go ahead and watch. Yeah, all right. And then I was fully caught up on One Piece, and then I ended up reading the entire manga within like a week.
That was like
Got up.
Dragon Ball Z when the Buu Saga came out and the 2 VHSs. Yes, it was VHS time. Came out. I would buy the 2 VHSs, sit down and dedicate like 3 hours to watching all 6 episodes in like one sitting.
Yeah, that's just how it is with anime, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't just watch one. It's like what's that thing?
Potato chips. You can never have one potato chip.
Yep. Yeah. I was like, I can't remember the analogy. I know there was
It's a potato chip. You can never eat one potato chip unless it's the last one. You cannot eat just one potato chip. One other thing I'm going to make mention of really quickly because I didn't say it last week, and I don't want this to happen again this week. And then everybody's like, "You're a jerk. You're not letting Jeremy talk." Jeremy has a bad cough. He had it last week too, and he mentioned it. I'm going to make a disclaimer now that I'm going to be doing a lot of the talking as far as the episode synopsis because
Yeah,
Jeremy is coughing and it's hard for him to get through like a whole synopsis, and I don't want him to hurt his throat. I want him to get better because it's been 2 weeks now that he's been sick. So in the interest of him getting better, I'm going to do a fair amount of the talking, and he's just going to share his thoughts on the
yeah,
episodes.
and you guys see the water bottle, and you can't, the cough drops are off camera, but I've got like a bunch of cough drops in my lap right now.
So
So yeah,
the coughing is real. But before you take a sip of your water, and then you could talk. I know that it was a perfect segue, so we're going to segue right into One Piece. You did have a couple of pieces of news for the manga, the
oh yeah,
chapter that came out.
so just a bit of a chapter update since we're not doing the full manga show until next month. Just a quick little chapter update. We actually got to meet two of Sanji's siblings, Raiju and Yonji, which I thought was cool because I didn't notice. I guess Oda took a page out of Toriyama's book and decided to name people with patterns. And I didn't realize this because I don't speak Japanese, but the names of the siblings actually correspond with like the order they were born in, because
Oh,
Rai, I think Rai or Ri whatever means zero.
yep. So remember
So
ReZero.
yeah, so Raiji, his sister, is the oldest. Then Yonji is younger than Sanji because I think that's like 4. And San is 3, so he's the third son, which they mentioned before already. So I'm like, oh, Sanji, oh, that makes sense. And you also find out that they can use this like really cool technology to fly and stuff. And I'm just like, oh man, wait till they have to use technology to do all that crap. Wait till they see Sanji do the skywalk on them, and just like, holy crap, it's gonna be pretty cool. And I love that both Sanji siblings have kind of like I don't want to say pervy, but they kind of have like a lustful attitude because what is it? Yonji was kind of like staring at Nami the same way Sanji does with like the hearts and everything. And Luffy was poisoned last chapter, and Rigi actually like actually saves Luffy because she feels indebted to Luffy for taking care of her little brother, and so she sucks the poison away from him, but she does it through a kiss, and she she kind of lingers there for a little bit. I'm like, oh, huh.
It's a good thing
So,
Hancock wasn't there. She probably would have flipped.
dude, I've been shipping Boa Hancock and Luffy for the longest time, but that's gonna get me on a tangent. But anyway, I really like this chapter. I like that we're seeing more of Sanji's family, and I want to see if the Straw Hats and Sanji's family can actually form an alliance, because I think it would be really cool. Because Sanji's family is royalty after all,
Gotcha.
so it's pretty interesting stuff. I can't wait to see what they do with it in the anime.
It's going to be interesting.
Yep.
All right, so we're passing through the news. We're going to get into this week's anime. So we've only got 8 minutes this time, not like last time where we went a half hour and we ended up having a free show. So for this week's show, we will be covering Ace Attorney Episode 8, One Piece Episode 742, Dragon Ball Super Episode 44, Naruto Shippuden Episode 461, Endride Episode 8, Stray Dogs, Episode 7, Cerberus, Episode 7, ReZero, Episode 8, Kuromukuro, Episode 7, Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, Episode 6, Big Order, Episode 6, 100, Episode 7, Assassination Classroom, Season 2, Episode 19, which I guess is a Season 2 Part 2, but we're going to just call it Season 2 because that's what it is, and we're going to conclude it all with My Hero Academia, Episode number 8. So you guys already know what our top 4 are.
Yep.
So let's waste no time so we don't kill Jeremy's throat, and let's get into Ace Attorney Episode 8. This, I have to say one thing about almost all the animes this week. Some of them went so fast, I didn't even realize we were a half hour, like 20 minutes in.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one. Like pretty much a majority of the first ones we're talking about like flew by.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And even getting closer to the bottom, I think I skipped around on a few of them. But Ace Attorney felt that way because Edgeworth ends up getting framed for murder. Phoenix Wright wants to defend him. Edgeworth at first doesn't want Phoenix Wright's help, but Phoenix Wright still goes snooping around trying to figure out what happened. He doesn't believe Edgeworth killed the person, and then we get the backstory with Edgeworth, and that the person that was killed was the person that was defending the father, and he failed. The father had died. He was defending he was prosecuting against the person who was named the killer, and the killer got away free because of Karma, who is an older defendant attorney, and it turns out that that was Edgeworth's mentor later on in life, and that was the backstory with the person that was killed. So it really looks like Edgeworth did it, but then Phoenix Wright goes back to Edgeworth, and Edgeworth said, I was there, we were talking, but I didn't do it, but I stupidly picked up the pistol, and now my fingerprints are all over it, so it looks like I'm the one that did it. So now it's going to be up to Phoenix Wright to prove that Edgeworth is innocent, and he's going up against Karma, a man who's never lost a case in his 50 years serving. This is going to be a really fun ride, because now
I also like the foundation of the friendship that they established here. Because last episode, Edgeworth was a real dick to Phoenix, and I like that, despite all that, because Phoenix Wright is the type of person that always tries to see the best in people. Like, he ignores that. He knows something's wrong. He can tell something's fishy. So despite Edgeworth's attitude towards him in last episode, he's still going to help him out.
Exactly, and I loved it. I thought this was great. I'm most excited for the next episode when the trial actually begins. This trial is going to be at least 2 or 3 parts long.
Probably.
I think in the game, I should have asked Ellie before she left yesterday, but I think this is one of the bigger trials in the game, so this might be a longer trial for the anime. But this anime is definitely picking up, and it's picking up fast.
It makes me want to play the games, which I think, that means the anime is definitely doing its job.
Oh, yeah. And I think there's a manga. If I'm not mistaken, obviously, 9 times out of 10, there's a manga attached to an anime. It's very rare. And even Pokemon has its own manga, even though it started off as a game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there's a Phoenix Wright manga, Ace Attorney manga. Yep.
Yep.
You took a pause. I'm like, yeah.
My bad.
Maybe.
My bad. I don't know. They have mangas pretty much for everything now.
God bless them. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting. I really was hoping that the Kingdom Hearts anime would just, the Kingdom Hearts manga would get animated into, get actually turned into an anime, because I have a couple volumes of that. It's pretty awesome.
How many volumes are there of that, out of curiosity?
I have no idea how many they're up to now, but I have up to 6.
I have to look.
And that was a couple of years ago, so they're probably pretty far in.
I have to look into that. All right. Now let's move into, and I apologize, Jeremy, but you're going to have to do a lot of this one, and it is One Piece, episode 742. You're going to have to do a lot of this just because
Cool.
I'm not really... I did watch this week's episode, Shock and Awe, but I liked it. I liked that it opened up with Luffy. Well, last episode ended with Luffy asking the princess if she was, content with what was going on, that she was going to be forced to stay at the castle. She said no. He breaks her out, and now he's taking her to her real father, who's not the king, and the Marine Corps is trying to stop him. You got the Marine Corps fighting against the Straw Hats as well, somewhere else, and I kind of lost Luffy towards the end of the episode, though, where right after she sees her father, he kind of disappears, and it shows just the Marines fighting against the Straw Hats.
Yeah, they like to do that. I think Luffy's just gonna try to basically want to make one of his famous big entrances. I actually forget what this chick's name is. Because I know when this was going on in the manga, there was this whole thing: is she gonna be the new crew member? Because Oda keeps teasing that there's gonna eventually be a new crew member added to the Straw Hats.
I thought it would be her
within the next few arcs.
I thought it would be too, because the way she was he's like, do you want to come? And she's like, yes. I thought she joined the crew at first.
Nah, she doesn't. Spoiler alert, I guess. But she does, because I thought so, because of her personality. She has a love of adventure. She likes the ocean, and she wants to see the world and stuff. So I was like, oh. she's probably going to join the crew, and we don't have that many females on the crew, so I guess that'd be interesting. But no, from what it looks like in the manga now, actually, it seems like Jinbei, the fishman who helped Luffy out, and is actually going to be joining the crew soon in the manga at least. But yeah, pretty much this is kind of just Luffy helping a friend out, doing his normal good deed in between arcs. It's not necessarily, it's kind of just like the stop in between that Oda likes
Segue?
to put in.
The segue?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like they party for a little bit after the battle, and then they have kind of a side quest using game terminology. They have kind of a side quest, and then they go back to the main story.
All right, so right now we're in the side quest kind of thing.
Yep.
Gotcha. I enjoyed it though. I watched it because I watched all my anime super fast. So I enjoyed it. Maybe I can move forward from here now because they're kind of side questing, then going into the main. I am trying to catch up with
And
2 years I'll catch
the
up.
pacing is actually was pretty decent in this episode. Like, it didn't drag,
Yes,
which I was surprised about.
yeah, and that's why I think it held me because the pacing was very good with it.
Hmm.
I agree 100%. That's why I think it kept me, which is a good thing because most of the time it wasn't when it was during the Del Flamingo fight because it was too much waiting.
Yeah, and people running and the bird cage collapse.
Uh,
Man, try reading that,
I don't.
please.
I wouldn't imagine that they did too many pages of that.
It lasted for a minute, but like it wasn't as much as the anime, but it lasted for a little bit.
Understood. Ugh. All right, so let's get into Dragon Ball Super, episode number 44. This was a good one, and this one leaves you with a cliffhanger. I think
This was freaking hilarious. I loved this episode, and it shows like Monaka's real job. He's essentially just a delivery guy.
And I think he's going to be a main character. I feel like the more we see him, the more he's just a mainstay.
It looks like him and Jocko, yeah, are gonna be like main characters.
I'm good with that. I'm fine with Jocko. Monica, I think there's only so much you could do with him before it's like,
And they keep bringing up the saggy titties joke with Bulma.
I feel very bad for Bulma. She's going to get a boob job by the time this anime ends, I have a feeling.
Probably. I mean, it looks like her mom gets a lot of work done because her mom doesn't age at all.
Not even a bit. What can you do? But
Yeah.
I love how it's Trunks and I like the Trunks Goten stuff. I like that at the end of Dragon Ball Z, and I'm really glad that they're continuing it with Dragon Ball Super. I do hope that we skip ahead a little bit to where Dragon Ball GT was, where they're older at some point.
Yeah, and actually, the thing about the future Trunks arc that they teased,
Mhm.
I think the Trunks that we see that's going to be the future Trunks in Dragon Ball Super isn't the same future Trunks we saw in DBZ. I think this future Trunks is actually an older version of our Trunks.
Okay.
Because if you look at the pictures that they released as a teaser, he has the same scarf that Trunks had in GT.
Could be then. Might be. But I liked it because they ended up sneaking onto Monica's truck. They got stuck. They ended up following him on a delivery. Things go very bad. Trunks and Goten do their Trunks and Goten thing.
The thing I really hope that doesn't happen, though, I really hope Chi-Chi doesn't ruin Goten.
If I feel like Chi-Chi is, because when she finds out Goten was gone, she went absolutely berserk.
No, but I think the thing that separates Goten from Gohan, like as much as Gohan actually wanted to learn, Gohan wanted to get smarter,
Goten's
but
more Goku.
yeah, Goten just wants to fight.
Mm.
Like Gohan was always kind of a more gentle person, so he didn't really want to engage in violence unless he had to.
Yep.
And it even showed with his power level. Like he always held back because he didn't want to hurt people. But when Cell started messing with his friends, he had no choice. He got pissed off and he unlocked his power. You guys know the rest of that. But yeah, I think Goten will definitely not disappoint us like Gohan did.
I agree. And I love how Vegeta and Jocko were the ones that ended up having to go find the boys to save them. And I like the bad guy. And this is definitely not going to be a main bad guy. This is just somebody that's like a segue bad guy. But he's strong.
Honestly, Vegeta was kind of an idiot this episode.
Vegeta was a bit of a pushover also. What part did I watch that I was like, if this was Dragon Ball Z, he wouldn't have taken that.
Because, I mean, he kind of, like, usually Vegeta think stuff through. But like when somebody challenges his pride, it's like Marty McFly when somebody calls him chicken. Like he doesn't give a crap. Like he'll just rush in there and he'll attack without thinking, and that's what got him caught with that slime stuff. Even Trunks and Goten were like, "Move, move, Dad, get out of the way!" And he ends up getting caught with that slime stuff.
And
They
it was
took
this.
his power away,
He went.
and now they got like slime Vegeta to deal with. And then, although I'm excited for next episode because Gotenks is in the house. I love Gotenks.
That's what I was gonna say. And Goku is 100% again.
Yeah, so Goku's probably gonna save the day. They couldn't give Vegeta just one episode where Vegeta doesn't have to get his butt saved by Goku.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Bulma's even whipping Vegeta a bit in this series. It's kind of
Yeah, Bulma does have Vegeta's balls in a vice there, but I mean,
Rocco scene where I forgot what Vegeta said, but she said something back to him. I'm like, oh, Vegeta's gonna rip into her, and instead he's kind of like, and I'm like, oh God, no.
it also shows Vegeta's character development that he really does. He's a lot more gentle than he was before.
Which is true, and you want to see Vegeta in a more, yeah.
And and he's more of a family man now. You know what I'm saying? He's no longer, I'm the Prince of all Saiyans, I'm going to destroy your planet type of thing. He's like, no, I'm just, I'm more about my family. But at least he's not a Gohan level disappointment. I'm going to keep saying that, and that's going to be my
I
gauge.
remember now when when Bulma went to me, you saying it's my fault, and he's like, no, 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 and I'm like, oh, you kidding me? Vegeta would totally say, yes, it's your fault, deal with it.
But I guess this Vegeta is more like he doesn't. I honestly I don't even think it's more of Vegeta being whipped. I think it's more of, look, I don't want to deal with her shit. I don't want to hear her mouth off to me. I'm tired of this. I don't got time. I'm just gonna go save my kid.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much the whole thing. Did you catch the Saitama reference? They mentioned something about like taking somebody out. I could probably just take him out in one punch.
No, I did not.
There was a little Saitama reference in there, and I guess it was like the whole Vegeta versus Saitama manga that
Must have been. Or I have to go back and watch that now. I want to catch that.
There was a little Saitama reference.
I want to catch that. I got to catch that. All right, enough of Dragon Ball. Let's talk about Naruto Shippuden, episode number 461. More backstory with
Hagoromo and it's actually more of Hagoromo and Hamura now, Kaguya's children.
Which look exactly like Naruto and Sasuke, except for the horns and the skin.
Yeah, like I said, they're like reincarnations of Hagoromo's children. Mm-hmm. So that's why when she saw Naruto and Sasuke, she was like, my children. Type of, that's why she had that reaction when she cried when she saw them for the first time during that fight.
Yep.
So this was interesting because we didn't really get much of Hagoromo's early life, and Hagoromo is the sage of the six paths. He's the first one who developed Sage Mode, who learned Sage Mode,
and we find out how in this episode.
Yeah, and we also see that he's actually the first one to unlock the Sharingan, and it actually developed from the Byakugan, just like they say in the manga. Because you see, they both have the Byakugan at first. But then when he sees that his girlfriend died or whatever, he activates the Sharingan, which I thought was pretty cool. That was pretty awesome. And he learned Sage Mode from Old Man Toad, and that's the same old Toad
that trained Naruto, right?
That trained Jiraiya, that later trained Naruto.
Okay.
How to learn Sage Mode. And I'm like, dude, wait, well, isn't this like 2,000 years ago?
Well,
holy crap, this is
immortal, dude.
This is an old man.
He's immortal. It's like Yajirobe. Not Yajirobe.
Tommy?
No.
Corn?
Oh. Come on. Train
Master Roshi?
Master Roshi.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, I mean, like, no, because, I mean, they call him Super Gramps. Naruto calls him Super Gramps because he's that old. He's like a giant old toad guy with like a beard. But I mean, here he's really young. I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, is that Old Man Toad? Like, because I was watching it with my little brother, because Naruto's literally the only anime he watches. He's like, hey, it's Grandpa Toad. And I'm like, no, that's not Grandpa Toad. And I'm like, holy crap, it is Grandpa Toad.
Mm-hmm. I liked it. Cool. I thought it was really cool. I enjoyed it. I like how the sons found out the big secret that the mother was holding for so long about the tree. Obviously, they're going to be the ones that take the tree out.
I also like that they don't realize that they're half alien. Like,
But then that brings the question of, are all these things that we're seeing in present day Naruto, are they half alien?
I mean, technically, I guess all ninja are half alien because ninja descended from Kaguya.
Which is
Or,
interesting, because that means everyone from the Naruto series has a piece of alien in them.
yep,
This is X-Files.
yep. And I mean, like, if you think about it, because like if you look, Kaguya and her sons were born with the Byakugan, and Hinata has the Byakugan, Neji has the Byakugan. So the Hyuga clan are more directly descended from them. Same with the Uchiha clan, because the Sharingan was developed from them as well, and the same with the Rinnegan and all the other dojutsu stuff. And I guess the more actual human techniques are the Sage Mode stuff, but the actual like regular jutsu that they know are more alien in origin. And also, they kind of gave a reference to the Boruto movie when they were like, when Kaguya mentioned, I'm preparing for the others to show up, because in the Boruto movie, the villain they fight is actually the other alien dudes from the moon. And that was pretty cool. That was
She would have waited a couple of thousand years for those people to show up then.
I mean, if you really think about it, I think if she wasn't killed off, or if she wasn't sealed away, I don't think she would have died or aged. Because like if she had kept the tree going, she probably would have lived forever.
True, very true. I don't know, but I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to getting through this backstory so we can get back.
It's probably like two or three more episodes, I'm guessing.
Well, I guess the next episode will be the fight between the sons and the mom. The following one will probably be the destruction.
His kids. Yeah, it'll probably be of Hagoromo's kids, and then like the whole cycle and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get back to the regular.
We return to the current episode of Naruto.
Yeah.
Hey, we got out of the filler hell, so now we just have to get through one more backstory. We can live through it.
I'm cool with that. Like I sat through a good 200 plus episodes of filler. I'm cool with just 3 or 4 more. That's nothing.
Yeah, I'm glad I missed most of that.
Yeah, lucky you.
I'm so lucky. Okay, let's go into Endride, which this was yet another episode that I started watching and it just flew by. They got on the boat, they landed on the island, they got captured by the Zuzians. The Zuians or
The animal people.
The animal people.
The animal people.
And Demetrio makes his plea that he wants them to stand by his
paladins.
The paladins, and basically stand against the king. At first, they ask him to sacrifice his life for his goal. He kind of does, and then everybody steps in to protect him. And in the end, they end up coming to an agreement where they're going to back Demetrio up. And then you got the Zuzians who are working for the king, who now know where they are. And they're going after Emilio and Shun. And that was the episode.
It's pretty interesting, and it's funny because I always make this joke, and Renfro gets the reference. But like in most anime, whenever they go on a boat, and even if you're in One Piece, whenever they're on a boat for a long time. So the fact that it only lasted 1 episode, I was like, what the hell? This is weird.
I think this is only a 12-episode series. That might be why, and we're already at 8.
Yeah, true. You remember when Pokemon was on a boat? They were on a boat for like 4 episodes.
God, they were on the boat for at least 4 episodes. The only time they got off a boat fast was the movie.
Yeah, like they were on a boat for a long time, and James got that magic carp, and that was good times. Good times.
Good times. Pokemon. So that was the episode. It was very quick. And Stray Dogs, episode number, let me get to 29, episode number 7 was another quickie, but not as quick, but it was very predictable with the girl. When they put her in the second episode, I said this girl is somehow connected to the
main bad guys, the Port Mafia. Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, it wasn't the Port Mafia that did it. This girl wanted to destroy the agency, and she planted this bomb, and she basically set the agency up to fail, except they didn't fail. And we get to see Dazi and Kurikia, I'm probably saying his name wrong, as a team again. And they, even though they fight so much, they work so well together.
And that's some of the best. That's some of the best pairings when you seem like they butt heads all the time, but as soon as they hit the battlefield, like they're completely in sync.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like those kind of pairings.
So they end up disarming the bomb. The big secret's revealed that it's the woman, and I saw it. I saw it even at that last scene. Remember that scene where they were at the cemetery, and she was there? I'm like, oh, she's totally the bad guy. Either she's gonna get away or they're gonna catch her. And they caught her, and she ended up shooting one of the agents. I think it's the one that runs all the computers and whatnot. That kind of has
the tech guy.
Mm-hmm. And he ends up shooting her back, and basically they both die, and it kind of upsets whatever his name is, Kun, a little bit. And
the were-tiger guy, right?
No, not the were-tiger. The guy that has Ideal as his power with the glasses. And I think Dazai had some of the best dialogue in this episode, explaining why justice sometimes just has to happen. It's not good or bad. It's justice.
I thought that was really cool.
I enjoyed it.
It reminded me of like something Batman would say.
A little bit, yes, and his want to kill himself kind of just. I'm glad they kind of skipped out on it this time around. He mentioned it, but he didn't do anything to himself this time.
He did. I think it would get to a point where it's like an annoying running gag. So I like that the show's kind of like toned that down.
I 100% agree. I'm kind of really happy. I like his character. Dazai's character has a lot of potential, and I understand because they are whatever they're called. Because they have their abilities. Basically, there's something strange or weird about them, like the brother-sister thing. But with Dazai, I would love to see him overcome the whole suicide thing.
I have a feeling by the end of the series, he's gonna end up sacrificing himself. And he'll finally get his wish of dying.
I think so. I think he is, for the were-tiger guy, whatever his name is that left my mind completely. I think that everybody except he is going to die, or at least Dazai is definitely going to die. Because remember, he is connected to the Port Mafia, by the way.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting. And I don't know how long Stray Dogs. Maybe it's going to be this is another one. We don't see. This is the one thing we don't know, guys. We don't know how long, it's true. We don't know how long these series are. Most of these are seasonal, meaning they end at episode 12 or 13 or 14 because summer starts at the end
of
the new
season. Yep.
And that means new shows. So all the shows that we're talking about right now, except for even Big Order is episode 6 already. It's probably halfway done. Yep. We're going to be, our list, if you come back in about 4 months, all of the shows except for One Piece, Naruto, maybe Dragon Ball will be taking a break by then, and that's it. All of the shows are going to change. If you go back and watch episode 1 of the Anime Weekly series, when we started,
we had a completely different list. Anime. We had Luck and Logic, we had Divine Gate,
The only shows that stayed were obviously Assassination Classroom because the seasons are kind of doubled up. It's like 2 seasons in part 1 and part 2.
Yep.
So part 1 was the winter, part 2 is spring. Dragon Ball Super, Naruto stayed, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we dropped Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want you guys to realize that because summer is coming and a lot of these shows are probably on their way.
I don't want to say it because we're probably going to get another 14 or 15 shows, but I have a feeling summer season won't be as heavy because usually summer is more movie time than actual regular series release.
If that's the case, we will find a way to review One Piece's Gold movie.
Oh yeah, for sure, Film Gold, yeah.
Yes, we will definitely try that. All right, let's stop. We're going getting carried away. Cerberus, episode 7, which again, this was an episode that focused a lot on Hero and him discovering that his heart isn't his own. His heart is basically Darganzot's heart.
Yeah, the dragons. Yep.
And that's why the dragon is keeping him safe, because it was a failsafe the father put in so that basically his son wouldn't die and the dragon couldn't kill his son, because if the dragon kills his son, the dragon dies.
It reminds me of Naruto, kind of.
Little bit.
When the fourth Hokage put the fox inside Naruto.
Hmm. And I forgot who the other guy was, but we get his backstory. We find out that he's half human and half orc.
Yeah, orc.
Oh God, what was his name though? I forgot his name.
I can't think of it.
Left my mind. But we get his backstory in this episode and how he came into Hero's life. And it's a very sad story about his parents and everything. And they end up in the town where his parents were murdered. This was a really heartfelt episode. But again, it ended quickly. And we also find out that the cat girl was a
spy. Yeah.
Not even a spy. She just wanted to give information. She's like kind of like a Catwoman, where she gets information and sells it for money.
Yeah.
So she's kind of like for herself and only for herself.
She's kind of a freelancer, but I have a feeling that she'll end up bonding with Hero and the gang, and she'll end up turning a new leaf.
Probably at some point, but she better hurry up because we're at episode 7, and if this is going to end at episode 14, you'll get 7 more episodes to
We'll
come.
see.
We could be wrong. It could last longer. I mean, Garo was in season 2. Some of these might get season 2s. No, My Hero Academia definitely has a season 2.
Yeah, we know for sure that one is. I know Big Order is pretty popular, so that's probably going to get a season 2.
Oh, yeah. And, all right, let's get into the one show. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about Cerberus?
No, I'm pretty sure that was good. Like I said, I really like the orc guy. Animated tragic backstories are always, I always have a soft spot for tragic backstories. It was a good episode, but yeah, like you said, it was really quickly paced.
Very quickly paced. Now, this other episode was super quickly paced. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong one. We are doing now ReZero. This is one of those episodes where hang on to your hats. So he killed himself at the end of the last episode because he didn't want to see Remy die.
Yep.
So he goes back in time again. It happens. The death return, as he calls it. And this time he works himself literally so hard that he gets sick because he doesn't want anybody to die. He doesn't want to die. So now he's trying to make friends with everyone. Both Rem and Rin, keeping Amelia as well. And we get a little bit more with Puck this time, though, where Puck explains that Subaru can actually use magic as well. His element is shadow.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was interesting. So there was a really deep moment towards the end of this episode where I think this is where finally I think he's going to get past this day. Amelia basically makes him sit down in his room because she sees he's killing himself, and makes him lay his head on her lap and rest. And he literally has a breakdown about everything that's going on. I think Amelia is in tune with what's going on because she called herself the witch at the very first episode. Remember, she called herself that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing research on curses and stuff with the other girl that's in the library. So he breaks down, and she tells Rem, who comes into the room, that he's a good guy. And remember, Rem didn't know if he was a bad guy or not, if he was a spy or not. So I think this moment, and this time, by the way, he's not a guest forever. He's actually a servant again. But this time around, I think Rem kind of gets that he's not a bad guy because Amelia says he's not. And he decides that whoever is the one that kills him on that third day and ended up killing Rem instead because he wasn't with Rem is in the town. So he wants to go a day earlier to the town to get all the supplies they need. And both Rem and Rin, who now take a liking to him, both are going to go with him. This is going to be interesting, the next episode.
I just really hope they don't both die.
Oh, I don't want Rem and Rim to die. I like them. I like the characters. It's just now, here's my concern with this series. We're at episode 8, okay?
And this is still just
And this
one day.
Yeah, and this is technically episode 9 because episode 1 was in 2 parts.
Yep.
So technically we're 9 episodes in. And we've only gone through 2 situations. 2. His entrance into the world, and now his second day in the world. Was his next 3 days, because he dies and goes back 3 days into the past.
Yep.
How long is this anime going to go on?
I don't really know. And you know, the thing about this game that makes me think, I think it's based off of, it has to be based off of one of those Japanese visual novel games.
Must be.
Because, like, it's like Fate Zero, or it's like the Fate games, where, like, you have
Page, whatever,
yeah, where you have different paths, and, like, you know, each decision, you know, it's like a Telltale game. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I think it's like one of those.
But a Telltale game or one of those books can last about 100 episodes long. Is ReZero going to overstay its welcome? That's I love it right now. But if we get
but it could get really repetitive if it gets to like episode 50 and we're still on the same freaking day.
No, if we're only like 3 days in from where we're at now.
Yeah.
I understand every episode we learn something else. So it's kind of like building up on characters and situations and the backstory a little bit and Subaru, etc. I don't want to keep living, you know, I don't want, like, this is like the 4th episode where we're living through the same 3 days.
There was another anime I watched called Higurashi, and it's kind of similar, and it actually went 2 seasons. But like basically the first season you kind of get the same day in a loop for the entire season, but you actually get to see different killers, because basically the plot of Higurashi is like there's this it's like this kid moves to this town and they have this festival in this town, and for some reason when this festival happens everybody goes nuts and starts killing each other, and he's and then the kid dies and it goes into a loop, and like the day starts over again, and he's trying to figure out who's the killer, who starts this whole incident, and it just keeps going into a loop. And then the first season shows that day over and over again, but then the second season actually puts together the other half of the mystery you're missing, and it makes one complete like solved case in a way.
Wow.
I think that might be where they're going, but I'm not entirely sure.
I hope not, because I don't want to relive, you know, a couple of days in an anime. I want more. I want to see what develops from here now with Puck, with Amelia. I mean, there are times where he does something and I'm like, okay, they need to reset it because this is definitely not going to work going
You notice with a lot of the anime we're watching, there are a lot of like Emilia type names. There's like 2 Emilias, 1 Emilio, and like
yeah, they're
crazy.
Running through those names, man. Now this anime, this next one, I feel like I went through the fastest this week, and that is Kuromukuro episode number 7. Oh my god, I started watching, and no sooner did I really get into it, like I'm like, okay, so what's gonna happen next? The episode ended. Basically, the girl doesn't want to do it anymore. She thinks that the machines are being manned by other humans, and she doesn't want to kill other humans. She kind of gets really bitchy in this episode. You know,
a little bit. It's a little whiny. I mean, but at the same time, you understand where she's coming from, because she doesn't want to just kill these people, especially if they're just being used as these batteries. Because that's what it seems like. It seems like they're not really in control of the robots. I feel like the aliens are just using them as like a power source.
Maybe, but at the same time, it's like, it's not right that, what do you call it, that that she doesn't want to save the world, and
she's definitely handling it wrong, I feel, but at the same time, I understand where she's coming from.
I like the blonde-haired girl in this episode because I think this is the episode where she kind of makes sense. She's like, either help, this is your chance to save the world. You're going to die regardless. Why not die helping the world, saving the world?
Yeah, and I like that she was the one to talk sense into her.
She did.
Give her that pep.
I don't think she did, because in the end of the episode, she just runs away. And when the mother slapped her because she cursed her father, that was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was whoa. And then
I think what's the name of the pilot guy, the
Ken,
alien dude?
Ken,
Ken.
can I?
I think Ken's gonna bring her back though.
Oh yeah, because he went to find her at the beginning of at the end of the episode where he's like, "There's no breakfast," and he runs to her room. He's like, "I'm coming in." He opens the door and she's gone.
Hmm.
This whole episode was her sulking and her coming to a decision whether she wants to really pilot the suit or not. And I like how she tries to convince Ken that revenge isn't the way to go, because then what happens after that? He's like, I'm going to kill myself. And she's like, then I don't want to pilot it even more because I don't want you to kill yourself. I don't want us to be working towards basically the day you decide to die.
Yeah, and nothing really happened in this episode for real. I mean,
Oh.
I guess a little bit of character
Yeah,
development.
and those two boys are missing still from the airport. The guy that was in
Yeah.
love with the girl and the camera guy.
Oh yeah, true.
And everybody's talking about it in school, and it kind of weighs on her a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it ended so quickly. It was like, wow, okay, so episode 7. All right. Damn.
Yeah.
All right, well, see you next week. Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, episode number 6.
This one is the one that probably moves moves the fastest for me.
Really? I felt this one had a little bit more action that slowed it down for me. Like, we got some more development with Mume.
Uh-huh.
And also Ikoma, who's protecting her. He ends up taking out the whole Kaban group of people that were attacking them. And we learn a little bit more about the creature.
I really like his sword. His sword is so cool.
Oh, you're talking about the samurai.
Oh, my bad. Wrong character.
Yes,
Wrong
the
character.
samurai
Okay.
guy. The sword is what Ikoma made the sword.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. The sword that he created, the steam sword thingy, it's really badass. I like that.
And they end up getting saved. The train ends up getting stuck, because they can't leave. And then they end up fighting the giant composite Kaban, which I believe is called what did she call it? Like a nest or a growth. And it turns out you have to find the heart of the growth and kill it, because the heart is basically one Kaban who's basically controlling and pulling in more Kaban to make this gigantic like black creature.
Yeah, it's kind of like a hive mind type deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you got to kill the queen to destroy the hive.
Exactly. And I liked it. I thought this episode was really good, but that was really the main part of this story, was just Ikoma and Mume getting saved and them getting the hell out of that place and destroying the big black demon.
It kind of felt very Walking Dead in that sense, because it was more about them moving on and, damn it, I'm out of water.
Damn it, Jim, he's out of water.
But yeah, it was definitely, it felt very much like Walking Dead, because it was like, them kind of just getting the hell out of Dodge, but they got their big epic fight, which I was glad about. It was pretty cool. Like,
I agree.
that's the one thing that, I will always, applaud for this series, that, like, it's filling that Attack on Titan void with the intense action type of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I liked it. I loved it this week.
Yeah, this one is definitely getting to season 2. I don't think they're going to be able to wrap up the entire story in just one season.
No. And there's potential for an ongoing for a couple of seasons if they really play their cards right. Because you can't save an entire world in one season.
Yep.
Unless you're Blue Gender. Which I like Blue Gender. I should get the DVD set of Blue Gender. I missed that series. That was good. Anyway, Big Order, episode 6. I watched all 6 episodes in a row.
Oh yeah, okay, so before we do that, let's go ahead and hear your overall thoughts on the first 5, now that you've watched the first 5.
I didn't like Rin. I feel like you made her a little bit nicer than she was.
See, and that's mostly because I like the tsundere type characters. I mean, you can ask anyone on Frontline. I'm like the only person that likes Veronica, so it kind of makes sense that I'm also like the only person that likes Rin.
So it's okay, because I think Rin has potential to be good also. But I like the other girl more.
And I think
Kylo?
EO. You talking EO, the one with the bunny ears, right?
Yes.
That's EO, yeah.
So, and I liked her more. I liked that there was a group of people that were all were what are they?
Orders.
Orders. Yeah. And that one, I swear that white-haired guy is plotting against.
The commander
Yeah.
or the colonel? Yeah, the colonel definitely. I think for sure. Um, my favorite my favorite part was when the rock chick joins the team.
And she's in the bathhouse with.
No, and she's like feeling up on everybody,
I
like
don't
all the
understand why they
girls.
didn't hit her.
She has like she has like a boob fetish, and I love when she touches the girl with the glasses, like the one that's like the one that's like in charge of the strategy or whatever. And she starts groping that girl, and she's like, "No, those are for the commander alone."
Yeah, that was weird.
I thought
And
that
I
was
look forward
hilarious.
to the DVD. Yeah, I look forward to the DVD set where it's uncensored because this was very censored.
Yep, and I mean it's funny. I mean I like Rin, but I didn't really like her until we got the little cute date episode. The date episode was really kind of sold me on her because I'm like, oh, she's actually starting to like him. They're sharing food. She's actually laughing, having a good
I
time.
have a question. There was a scene where his sister woke up. They're not blood related. It was stated that way.
Yep.
And they were laying in bed, and she's like, "Don't leave me." And the way she hugged him was not brother sister, and there was a trail of their clothes leading to the shower.
I don't think it's an incest thing. I think
They're
it's
not
just
incest. It's not incest. They're not blood related.
I mean, no, I don't think it's a relationship thing. I mean, like she's a lot younger than him, and I mean, I'm pretty sure we've all taken baths with our siblings when we were younger, and I guess it's kind of just a thing that they do. I mean, I don't think that they're romantically involved, but then again, it seems like everybody is in love with them with Edgy, so I wouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, I don't think so, or at least
I
I
hope
definitely.
not. I like the other girl more.
I mean, I definitely like EO, especially when they combined their powers. I was like, holy crap.
This episode, they went to
Yeah.
find this woman who's able to cure his sister who's dying. She has like 6 months to live.
Yep.
And it turns out that the father and his group end up showing up after they beat her. After oh god, Edgy
Edgy
and
and EO.
Eo beat her together. You could see that I see a little relationship building up there though. I see
Definitely.
it.
I mean, come on. She was naked. She
She
literally
said, "I
stripped.
love you. Wake
She
up."
literally stripped down naked and was like, "I love you. And I want to have your baby." Like, come on, man. Like, she is literally throwing it at you. Go ahead and catch it.
I would have caught it. That's for sure. She's a
Like,
pain. Yeah.
oh man, it was really funny. I mean, like, and also like, what the heck is up with the healer lady? She was like getting off on the love confession or whatever.
Oh man, I don't want to remember that scene. That was uncomfortable to watch
Like,
actually.
like I was reading the subtitles and I was like, whoa, what are you talking? I'm like, she was talking about how she was getting wet or what? I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm done. I was like, that's
I'm
where
like,
I'm like I said to myself at that moment, if Jeremy made me start watching a show that's very sexual, I'm going to kill him.
It's
But
the
it
problem.
passed. And what happens in the end is the woman ends up getting killed and they end up getting trapped. And that's where this episode ended. And I liked it. I liked the
That
series.
that dimensional sword it was really cool, but it's kind of BS. Like you literally can slash through dimensions, so your attack can hit anyone, no matter how far away you are. That's kind of OP as hell.
Very true. And that's why I'm like, eh.
But I figured that she was gonna die because I mean, there's no way they'd be able to heal the sister that easy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And they still have to save Rin. They can't just leave Rin behind.
I like how Rin's like, I'm surprised you didn't come save me. And then he's like, oh, she's like, oh, I see that you're in love with this girl or you're too busy
She
making.
was like, you were too busy flirting with Io. I was like, oh, see, she's a little jealous. I'm like, so the real Rin is still there. She's not a complete like puppet. Like she's not totally under the guy's control, under the dad's control.
We'll see. I don't know. I like you.
I mean, some of her feelings are definitely bleeding through. I definitely think she'll break the control and she'll end up wanting to come back to Edgy. I mean, I don't know. Like I'm kind of rooting for her. I'm kind of rooting for her. I mean, I like all the girls that like him though. Like that's the thing. Like I can never choose one in
Oh,
these
I
type of
chose one for this one. For the next anime we're talking about, I'm kind of still kind of.
Oh yeah, before we move on, what was your reaction when Io got pregnant?
That took a moment. That took a moment. It took a moment. He touched Spears. I was like, oh crap, she's gonna have a baby. And literally, she developed a baby. I'm like, damn, they were really
No,
wasting
no, yeah,
time.
yeah. Because when I read that, when I first read that, I was like, oh, she's just exaggerating. That's cute. And I'm like, and then he touched it, and I'm like, she actually had like a little bump. I'm like, what?
Yep.
She
And then
had
her
a
water
baby.
broke.
Yep.
That was interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely.
That was a shocker.
Yeah, for sure. And now she like legit wants a baby, and I'm like, oh, all right, huh?
Because her father always sheltered her. If you remember what she
Yeah,
said, and she
yeah.
always dreamt of having a husband and a family.
Mhm. But her father wanted her to be a Mikuru, um, a divine priestess or whatever. That's why she wished for the order. And also, I appreciate that like her power isn't useless because whenever in a comic book or an anime they introduce somebody with the power to predict the future, it's always like, oh yeah, I can predict the future, but the fact that I've seen the future means that the future's changed. So really, there's no point in me predicting the future because that changes the future by predicting the future. And I'm just like, would you just predict the future already? And
Let's
like,
predict the future and shut up.
like it's like I'm glad that like there's no catch. You know what I mean? She literally just predicts the future and it actually comes true. Like it's not I predict the future, but because I've seen it, instead of this happening exactly like I said, actually this is what's going to happen. But I didn't know that because well, my vision didn't tell me so. What the hell? I'm tired of that crap. Like I've seen way too much psychic crap where all that messes up and it's weird time travel BS. But yeah, I love the show. I mean, like once I started it, I couldn't stop. And I told Chris, I'm like, we're gonna end up adding this one. I'm telling you.
And you jerk, you put 13 shows on my plate. 14 if I watch One Piece. I hate you. But then again, like you said, summer is going to be less shows probably because that's when summer is this time where everybody goes out and has fun. So I feel like that's like break time where we'll have like 6 or 7 shows maybe,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
at most.
Maybe 5 to 10 if we're lucky.
I'm praying. I pray. I pray to
Yeah.
God.
The only one we know for sure that's coming is that Taboo Tattoo show.
Which I'll watch. It looks
Yeah.
interesting. I want to get the manga and start reading it early.
Yep.
All right, so let's do 100 episode 7 now. And 100 episode 7, this is the one where I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't choose. Man, I'm like I like all of them. I like Emmy. I like Claire. I like Pop Star Girl whose name I still don't remember.
Sakura.
Oh, her name is Sakura. Man, see, I finally have a character named Sakura that I don't not like. Usually, when a character is named Sakura, I don't like them. Even in Street Fighter, I don't like Sakura that
Maybe
much.
that's why you blanked her name out.
Maybe because I don't like Sakura in Naruto. I don't like Sakura in Street Fighter. I don't like Sakura in Bleach.
I I liked how this opened up with Sakura actually with
Hayato.
Hayato, and Amelia's jealous. Claire's kind of jealous, and Amelia and Claire have that little back and forth where she's like, "Yeah, that's why you're hanging out all over the place." And she's like, "How dare you?" And I swear those two girls are in love with the president. I swear. And then we find
Are you talking about her little aides that follow her around everywhere? Yeah,
that
definitely.
fought to try to put oil on the front parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the brother shows up, so we find out Claire has a brother, and the brother actually takes Hayato to the power source of Little Garden, and it turns out it's his and Claire's little sister who has a ability. She has divine blood, and that is what powers all of Little Garden. So he's like, know this so you know what you're defending and what you're keeping safe. And that's when the mission comes up where they want Hayato, the other two that helped him in the previous episode,
Yep.
and Amelia to go after, to go to this savage attack and try to prevent the hunters from poaching the cores and basically try to
So
catch
that they
them.
could, so they could keep the hunters from making their bootleg hundreds.
And it turns out Vitalia is a girl that might have been part of their group at
Yeah,
some
their
point.
organization. Yeah, but she decided to leave because she realized it was wrong
And she
and all
wants to do
that.
her own thing. And I liked it. I liked the development. And we find out later towards the end of the episode that Amelia, and I knew this, Amelia's not exactly just a regular person. She's not. Her last name is not Hermit. It's the name of the place where they were from, Bur something.
Yeah, I figured she seemed like she was a princess. I felt like she was
I did
like
too.
she carried herself very much like royalty.
And it turns out that one of her friends shows up, who's apparently a lesbian too, and she loves her and wants her to come back with them. She's like, "No, I want to stay. I'm in love with Hayato." And they have.
Cause I figured that she was like some kind of higher class person when she couldn't figure out how to sew or do any of the normal stuff. You know what I mean?
hmm And then the fight happens. Hayato wins, but the woman still swears that at some point she's gonna take Amelia back. And the episode kind of ends on a kind of note with the poachers passing by Hayato and Amelia.
Yep. You know what I thought would have been funny? I honestly thought that the brother would have turned out to be gay, and he would have developed a crush on Hayato.
Oh, that would have been so freaking.
That would have been hilarious because the brother and Claire would be both be fighting. Oh my god, that would be gold. I want to see that. I want to see that so bad. If it turns out he's a closet gay man, and I called it, like that's gonna be some good stuff.
I'll kill you.
It's gonna be hilarious.
This anime is a very good mix of action,
Rom-com type stuff.
and yeah, romance comedy at out the wazoo, but it's fun and I like it. And 100 is definitely like my what's it called? Not Divine Gate, the other one. Luck.
Like in Logic.
It's my Luck and Logic for this season, and I love it. And
I could see that. 100's definitely up there for me too, but I think it's tied for me with Big Order because it's just so freaking like Big Order's concept. I feel is cooler than 100's concept.
Big Order's concept will continue it going forward into season 2. 100 feels just like Luck and Logic. There is an end game, and when they
Yep.
hit that end game, that's it.
Yep.
So,
I think the end game is just saving the sister, or maybe the sister will like activate herself, and something big will happen.
and then all the savages will go away. The world will be
Yep.
safe, and then we'll get a decision. All right, so let's do Assassination Classroom season 2, episode 19.
Well, the Civil War part of it's over because they come to a decision.
Yep. And it actually plays right into where they left off last time after the credits. They're going into space, and they're going to get the information that America has on on how to save Koro Sensei, basically, how to
Yep.
prevent it. And oh dear Lord, Jeremy, they did it again. They did it again. It's an American satellite.
Yep. Yep.
So they
So
break in. The whole first part is they break in and
this is
Karma,
a stick up.
huh?
This is a stick.
Yeah,
Oh,
Karma and Nagisa
this-
get on the rocket. They get onto the American satellite, and then they have to talk American. And I love when Karma speaks in American because he's hilarious. It's hilarious. All right, how you doing? We're here for a pickup. This is a pickup. I was like, really, really?
What are you doing? Like, oh my god,
I
you're
don't
talking
want
like
any
Scooby-Doo.
trouble.
You're talking like Scooby-Doo. Stop. Just stop. Speak Japanese.
And then they ended up, what was really funny was they ended up working on the space station, so it was like a real class trip before they got the information,
Yeah.
which was weird. I was like, why are they so willingly, giving this information to these two kids that are faking destroying the space station?
Mhm.
But they
Yeah.
did it, and they left, and I couldn't understand the ending, though. They got the information.
I can't tell you either if they actually decide to go back to killing him or if they're really going to help him. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, because they found out that the formula the girl did for the poison, which turned Koro Sensei into a liquid, was pretty close to the cure. The cure that'll bring him from 100% blowing up to 1%. But at the end, Nagisa says some deep stuff, and then it looks like they go off and attack him again. They're going off to try to kill him again. I guess the next episode will explain it a bit more, but it was I definitely deserved another 2 minutes to understand what the hell the ending was about.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, again, I don't want to know too much because of the spoilers. But I mean, you read the ending, so maybe there's a clue in there somewhere.
Maybe. I have, honest to God, no clue.
I don't know, but we'll find out. I guess I'm sure they'll explain it early on in the next episode.
Oh, I'm very sure the next episode will open up and it'll explain everything. So we're just a little lost for the week, but I'm sure we'll get back on track by next episode for sure. We all know they're gonna go back to trying to kill Koro Sensei. I mean, we can tell that much.
Oh yeah,
that much we know, because then the series would never end.
Yep,
it would be alive. So, all right, let's get into the last one as the silence grows thicker. We are doing My Hero Academia episode number 8.
Man, this episode was good. I loved seeing how everybody reacted to how clever Deku and Ochiko were with their abilities.
Yeah, but at the same time, as All Might said, they all failed except for the guy that you hate, because they
Ida.
Yeah, he was the one that stayed in character. The girl risked high destruction and screwed up a couple of times. The personal fight between Deku and then also Deku destroying, using his uppercut to destroy the building to shake things up. Yeah, it kind of threw things off a bit.
Yeah, I fucking hate Ida, dude. Like, he
I don't like the girl more than the guy. I could take him.
Are you talking about Ponytail Girl, or are you talking? Yeah, I can't remember her name. You talk the one in the red, right? The one in the red that pointed out everything.
Yeah, I didn't like her. I don't like more than the guy. The guy, I feel like I had a friend like him. I could swear to God I had a friend like him. So I think that's why I'm tolerant of that. But he's just one of those guys that likes to follow the rules to a T. There is no.
But he's also a freaking know-it-all, and he pretends to know everything when he doesn't know, and like. Some situations call for some changes, man. Like, stop being such a prude. Like, I don't know. I'm sick of him. I've read like several chapters of him, and it doesn't get any better.
So the other teams go, and Kachan is still watching all these matches, and you see him taking all of it in and how he screwed up.
Yeah, and then when Todoroki's match shows up, and Todoroki just pretty much is like, yeah, I'm the best in the class. Like, I don't even need my partner's help. I'm just gonna freeze this entire building and smoke out our enemies. And by freezing the building, I'll also stop the nuke from exploding and whatever.
I'm glad he's a good guy. Could you imagine if he was a villain?
Oh yeah, but once you get to his backstory, he has one of the most tragic backstories of this entire cast. Like, oh my gosh, like when you learn about his dad and all this other stuff with his family, and the reason he doesn't use he only uses one half of his powers, it's really deep stuff. I can't wait to see that animated. It's gonna be great. He's my favorite character of the show. Deku is a close second, I would say.
I 100% agree. And then it turns out that they can't heal Izuku. He was healed recently.
Yeah, so Recovery Girl even said so. That's why they had to use the IV and everything. And I like what she said. She's like, I understand he's your favorite and everything.
And he take your powers because she knows about
All Might. But she's like, but you can't just favor him. You need to talk to Bakugo too, because he's in a very vulnerable place right now.
Right. And so also, it's not just that. She said you can't be for him. You have to be fair. You can't just favor him all the time. You have to do what's right, which is he should have called off the match.
Yep.
But again, I think All Might, as time goes on, he's going to make mistakes with Izuku, and Izuku is going to make mistakes, I'm sure. I'm really excited to read more. I want to read more because I know this season's going to end soon, and it's going to end on a note where it's going to be like, I want more, and
they're probably going to end on the villain's arc on the start of the villain's arc when they get their first major confrontation, when the class gets their first major confrontation against a villain, and that bad guy is pretty friggin' intense.
Is that the guy with the hand on his face?
Yeah,
Yeah, the last chapter I read for Boku no Hero, which is the latest manga chapter, he was in it. So he's gonna learn about Izuku at some point, and things are gonna get really rough for Izuku and with
yep,
this guy. So
definitely.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm already excited for season 2 of My Hero Academia. I'm excited One Punch Man's coming. But
I also really dig the theme song for My Hero Academia. We didn't really talk. We haven't talked about that as much. But these openings have been really good this
and
season.
there's music in the middle of My Hero Academia that actually goes My Hero.
Yep.
I like that. I hope they keep it when they bring it over. Well, it's in America. I hope they keep it when they bring it over to when the episode catches up.
All Might's voice is so weird. I watched the first episode dubbed.
How bad
All
is
Might,
it?
it's weird. No, it's weird because you know how usually like the American voices are deeper than the Japanese voices. All Might's voice is higher in English than it is in Japanese. It's not annoyingly high, but it's a noticeable difference.
This is why I watch things subtitled.
So instead of like Detroit Smash, it's Detroit Smash. It's like Detroit Smash instead of Detroit Smash.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Like it's not like a point where it's so high it's annoying, but like it because we've seen it in the sub form, it's a noticeable difference.
Mm, I agree. So that's why I don't like. I like sub more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, same here.
So again, though, I'm looking forward to the next episode. This was a good week. It was fast week. It was a very fast week.
Which is nothing we should complain about because
No.
because I'd rather have a fast week than a oh my god, when is this episode gonna end week.
I agree, especially with all the other stuff that we do.
Yep.
Yes, a fast week definitely is a reprieve every once in a while,
Yep.
especially with 13 episodes. Then you may.
Especially because I cover Preacher on Sundays now, so like I got something to review on Sundays, which and then I'm glad we don't record on Mondays anymore because man, that would have been a nightmare.
So yeah, I thought of you in advance. All right,
Yeah.
let's end this show, guys. As always, if you have anything you'd like to talk about any of the shows we talked about here, feel free to let us know your thoughts on any of the shows in the comments below. What are you watching anime-wise? Is it something we were watching, something we have watched, something we're not watching that you think we should watch, which we are not adding any more shows to this to this long list, but we can always go back and check out the shows later.
Oh yeah, and if you got, I forgot to mention this before, like last episode and the episode before that. But if you guys are watching Joker Game and you want me to talk about it, I'll discuss it with you guys in the comments. But I'm not devoting a section by myself talking about it because that's it. As Chris can tell you, because he's talked about anime by himself on the show before. It's boring talking about an anime by yourself with nobody to bounce off of.
Yes, very much so. I 100% agree, and don't ever take that many days off. So, if you'd like to do that, you can talk to Jeremy in the comments below. Your hashtags were heard. There is an anime madness possibly in the works, so thank you guys. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, you guys did it.
You guys definitely did it. And we love hearing from you guys in the comments. That's the most important thing. Hearing your guys' opinions and thoughts about the anime we watch, the stuff we discuss, and very soon, the extra half-hour segment we are going to dedicate to news and mangas. It'll probably surpass a half hour once we really get deep into chapters we're reading and the news that's popping out. And
Yep.
Viz Media has been wonderful with us. You know, they've been giving Comic Frontline a lot of news. You can check all the news out that Viz Media shares with us manga and anime-wise on comicfrontline.com. You could also check it out on VizMedia.com. VizMedia is turning 30 years old this July, and out right now is Assassination Classroom Part 1 of Season 1, which I am grabbing. Like I said, Sailor Moon's coming out soon. The Dragon Ball Z full-colored Frieza Saga Volume 1 is out now. Volume 2, I believe, is coming out in, I want to say July or August. So you might want to check that out. I think it's in July because I think it's in DCBS to order. So I think it's in July. So if you want to get Volume 2, it's coming out in July. Excellent stuff there. New mangas are coming out all the time. And yes, Viz Media is 90% on top of all of those animes. You see them on the little corner. Viz Medias are really great. They've been really nice with us, and we enjoy all the news they've been sharing with us, and we've been sharing through Comic Frontline about Viz Media to you guys.
Yep.
Hopefully we will be covering a movie. As you guys know, I did make the announcement. I want to make an announcement here because we did talk about Anime Weekly crossing over there. I did cancel my SoundCloud as of next month. So we will probably be doing a movie review sometime on Frontline instead.
Yeah, for the Boruto movie, because we've been promising that for like a month or a couple months now, but we'll definitely do it probably before. We're gonna probably like aim before next month, because next month is when we'll actually be covering like the Boruto manga and stuff.
Right, exactly.
So we definitely want to watch the movie to lead into that, especially because the manga is recapping the movie anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a pretty good segue.
All right, guys, so take care. We'll see you guys next week, comicfrontline.com. We are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more, as you guys see here.
Fingers crossed that my cough will be gone next week. Well, let's hope so.
Feel free to comment again. We love hearing from you guys. The most important part of this show is hearing from you guys and your thoughts. Till next week, though, take care, keep reading, keep collecting,
and enjoy your anime.
And we'll see you guys next week for another Anime Weekly episode 20!
Yeah!
Next!
20 episodes, guys. We made it.
We did. See you guys next week.
Later.